From music to science, Tuesdays really are the best day here, and I am with Peter Suneson from Walking Mountain Science Center, one of my favorite places to hang out, Peter. You see me there all the time.
That's true.
Yeah, man, and you've got a very interesting topic for us this morning. It's going to be part of a presentation you guys are doing tomorrow night, and regarding wildlife migration here.
Exactly. So it's our latest installment of our Science Behind series. It's kind of one of our longest running adult education programs. So it's open to the community, it's free and open. And what we're going to be talking about is wildlife closures. We're getting to the point where we're going to start, putting the ski gear away, getting out to bike, start thinking about hiking. But there are a lot of seasonal trail closures, wildlife closures all throughout the area. Towards Vail, even west towards Gypsum, south of Gypsum, a lot of closures on the BLM down there. So we want to talk about, we're going to focus the discussion on why we have trail closures and then what we can do as recreators. I mean, I know you and the dog are out up Buck Creek daily.
Yeah.
And so, what we can do as trail users and users of public open space to kind of help wildlife and to do what we can, because one of the things that we talk about as a community is that we do value wildlife. It's why we live here. We like, seeing them. We like knowing they're out there. What can we do as, community members and cohabitants of this area to live with wildlife?
That's the key word too, is cohabitants, because they were the first ones here. We're sort of invading their territory. So how can we make a minimal impact on their daily routines so that they can live healthy, happy lives?
Exactly. And there are a lot of very kind of simple, straightforward actions we can take. One, very simply respecting the trail closures. You'll see the Adopt a Trail ambassadors out all along the North Trail coming up this spring, reminding people that these trails are closed for elk calving and migration. We can also hike with our dogs on a leash. I mean, I know you're probably the prime example of a person who hikes with the dog on the leash. I see you guys leashed up all the time. And that's one of the things, even if our dogs are well behaved, they're scaring wildlife. They're flushing wildlife. And even if the deer and elk aren't running, their heart rate is going up. We're changing their physiology just by kind of being in their space. Dogs are going to, affect that tenfold.
Yeah, it might be great fun for the dog, but not so fun for the deer. And the danger for both creatures if they have an encounter.
Exactly, yeah, dangerous for both if they have an encounter. And then even looking forward into that deer's life cycle, the time that deer is spent running from my dog is time that deer is not spent feeding itself, helping raise its young. And if I'm, thinking 10 years down the future and I want a really healthy elk population, deer population here in Eagle Valley, maybe just hiking with my dog on a leash is one of those simple steps that I can take to, ensure the next generation has the wildlife in Eagle County that I experienced.
Yeah, and especially the trail closures during calving season. Like the mother elks are prone to being upset because they want to protect their babies, and then affecting those babies in a negative way.
Exactly, and it has that kind of cascading effect. You're exactly right. So how we affect the adult animals, that's going to trickle down to the young. So we've got representatives from Colorado Parks and Wildlife, the Forest Service, Eagle County Open Space, and Eagle County Adopt a Trail. They're going to come and they're going to share their experiences, how they see trail closures affect their management decisions, how they see it affect the community. And what's really neat, these are the experts in this area. They're also part of our community. So we're going to get to hear from them, hear their opinions, but also hear from them as community members, concerned citizens like you and I.
Yeah, and maybe you're a mountain biker that's frustrated by trail closures, but this can allow you a greater understanding of why that is the case.
That's absolutely the case. We want to provide that why, and then we want to provide options. So yes, your favorite mountain bike trail may be closed for the next 3 weeks, but here's an alternative that you can still get out, turn the gears. You'll affect wildlife maybe a little bit less.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Pete, for coming on. Always a pleasure to get Walking Mountain Science Center in the studio. So that's tomorrow night at Walking Mountain Science Center, which is just behind the new police station and fire station off of Nottingham Road here in Avon. Definitely stop by and learn more about trail closures and wildlife migration. Coming up next, we're going to check in with Ashley and take a look at the weather.